Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round 4, fight! Round 1, fight! Round 2, fight! Round 3, fight! Round 4, fight! Round 1, fight! Round 2, fight! Round 3, fight. Round 4, fight. Round 1, fight. Round 2, fight. Round 3, fight. Round 4, fight. Final round, fight. Round 1, fight. Final round. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Final round. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round 4. Fight! Round 1. Fight! Round 2. Fight! Round 3. Fight! Round 4. Fight! Final round. Fight! Round 1. Fight! Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round one. Fight. Round two. Fight. Round three. Fight. Round four. Fight. Forest Law wins.